Give me some Ingram. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Atlanta Falcons taking on the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. They go play action here on first down. Steps away to his left. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Play action. Now Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. William Hayes. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Escaping the pressure right. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And James has it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now it's Wilson. This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Wilson. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bridgewater to throw it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Connor Barwin coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down. They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're buried deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
The tackle that time by William Hayes. Defensive starters, here they are for Atlanta. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. On second down, Ingram. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So out come the Falcons now. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're...
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Into the Redskins. Have it they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Left side caught by Diggs. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
On third down, Wilson. And it's caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Vinny Curry in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 6-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Tucker's kick right there, it's good, and that will make our score 9-0. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see that.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Terrell McClain with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 47 yards. First down, Bridgewater. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points. But by the way...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Handoff, it's Mark Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On third down, Wilson. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Wilson. James has got it. Complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, he slides when that derriere dips, if you will. That play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
To throw on third down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's easy to see when we review this, that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Carter, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. A first down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to air one out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. On second down, Bridgewater again. He's going to launch this thing, and that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. On first and 10, Bridgewater. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Well, he's been the guy already. Over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. On second down, here's Wilson. A deep ball for Dotson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. He's going to wind up and air it out.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Bridgewater. Found his target. It's Anderson. Touchdown, Falcons. Robbie Anderson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On second down, Wilson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Redskins on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's Michael Pilardi now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And take it right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Bridgewater on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin by jetting up to Orchard Park. Buffalo visiting Chicago from the NFC. And it's the Bills with the lead in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Next, we head off to check out another game. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. 28-0, the final. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. In our game, it's Teddy Bridgewater with a standout first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, come on, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Here we go, gotta go. Fire down.
Here again is McKinnon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Hurry up. Delta.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Wilson. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons are going to get it at the 20. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Going up top. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Going for the deep ball. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return this time will go after the 42-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
with
right.
the Eagles.
That's right. Then gets it with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington at Red Squirrels.
That's correct. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
A good pickup there at 22.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. William Hayes. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now he's going to go up top over the field. This is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think the 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He shakes it off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Second down, Bridgewater. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 39 that time. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Quincy Enunwa, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This one taken from the 7. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the gun, it's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And some room to roam now. That hell running right through it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quitting him.
0.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he checks this one down to Williams. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Ingram. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. And again, it's Ingram. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll run it with Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Damian Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have made this a 1-score game.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game.
And he coughed it up, and the Redskins scoop it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the shotgun, Wilson over the middle, complete. That's James. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 42 yards. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Yeah, he's got it. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the sneak, it's Bridgewater. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Teddy Bridgewater with time running out. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Zerline good with a PAT. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he's got room. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Falcons, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.